Okay, hello and welcome back to the channel. It's been a little while since I last made a video, and that's because of my own personal medical issues at the moment. When I did the last few videos, I was feeling quite okay at the time to shoot those videos and get them edited and whatnot and get them uploaded. And then my condition kind of took a bit of a, not so much a nosedive as just sort of peaked and then went down into a trough and then went into another peak and then went back into a trough. It was like looking at waves at sea, just going up and down, up and down, up and down. My health had basically been that kind of crazy, just like watching waves, and you've got no idea how big the wave is going to be, how small the wave is going to be, and that's just how my recovery has been at that point. And at the moment I'm still on a low ebb right now. For the last couple of weeks I have really been low on energy. I'm still quite low on energy now. I'm just really trying to push through that and just do this one video, just this one video, to try to get it uploaded and get some content here. There is another video in the works which needs some serious editing before I can actually release that, and hopefully I will get that done. But I decided let's do some housekeeping and a health update and review some of the stuff I've got to use as far as my medical circumstances are concerned. So if you're wondering what this is basically a medical sharp disposal box. If you're in the UK, you've probably seen these in A&E and the other hospital units and whatnot that you see whenever you go in for anything done. Your GP surgery might have stuff like this, and you know, this is a smaller version overall. I've seen versions that are twice as long as this in some cases, but this is basically because I have to take certain medication. Cue the medication box, more on that later. This is where I have to dispose it because it is literally injecting myself with a needle. So quite understandably, you get a phone call from the delivery company to arrange a delivery time and whatnot. I'm obviously waiting on that phone call for the next batch, because this is literally the last of my current batch so far. This box will probably need to be disposed of and get a new one, as well as getting more of this. Again, more on that later. But yeah, it's just in case somebody has never seen this or they've never seen it up close and have wondered, it just basically gives you some idea. Danger, contaminated sharps only. It's contaminated because it's obviously been injected in somebody. Warning, do not fill above the line. Made in Britain. Really? I'm not going to say made in China, Mark Samurai. You can tell from the rattling around. Ah, yes, you can tell from the rattling around that I've already got stuff in, but here it says made in EU. I'm not sure if that's going to pick up on the viewfinder, but literally where, just above where my thumb is, it's got those magical letters EU, which of course Britain for some reason is so desperately trying to escape from. Never quite understood that myself. But hey ho, we've got more important things going on during this glorious year of 2020. Let's see, what else can we see here? Even under all this bright light and whatnot. In fact, tell you what, let's just try turning the light off. And maybe things will become more... Nope, that's actually far worse through the viewfinder. And even for the naked eye, that is still far worse. So, light back on. Sorry about that. I'll put a warning up text-wise about that, or I might just do a jump cut. But it's just say stuff like sharp safe. It's got www.frontier-group.co.uk. Yeah, just general stuff that you'd think. So let's get to the main bit right at the top. I have absolutely no idea what that section's for, but you can see the logo, obviously the additional sharp stuff. You've got a little carry handle here. You've got this little bit here that basically just closes on the top like that and still be opened quite easily, and so on and so forth. Again, no idea. It must be some sort of mechanical thing that just digs in to help keep things secure. And you just literally drop everything in here, so you might be able to see some of the stuff I've dumped in there, needles and instructions that I don't need. Stuff that's been used to stem the flow of blood when the needles have been perhaps a little too sharp. And there's different shape things to put different things in. Nothing I've got is actually small enough to fit in there, so be interesting to know what can fit in there. But you've got this little plastic bit here. Your hand can only fit in so far, so maybe if you've got smaller hands, maybe that would be easier, but it's very unlikely that you'd be able to get your hand in there to end up getting spiked on something. So that's quite a good design. Let's get to the actual medicine itself, with a brand name of Amjavita or Adalimumab. I got no idea how to pronounce that. It's a solution for injection in a pre-filled pen, 40 milligrams. And that's not the expiration date at all, it just says some kind of EU reference. 007 though. Licensed to prick. For subcutaneous use, single use only, and it's specially designed to make sure it's only for single use. Each pre-filled pen contains 40 milligrams of that stuff in 0.8 milliliters of solution, or 0.8. I'm not quite sure what the difference is between 0.8 and 0.8, if there is indeed one. I am of course just talking at this point. You can also see that it's quite secure because I've not opened it. So there should be two different sections there. That's not address details or anything like that, but it does have my name on, so I'll just keep it covered. And it does have an expiry date, I think. No, that's not expiry date, that's date of issue, that's when it was sent. Anything else of any use? Stone original coating in order to protect from light. Glacial acetic acid, sucrose, polysorbate 18, sodium hydroxide and water for injection. Contains latex. Read the package leaflet before use. So in other words, if you are allergic to latex, this is probably not a good thing to make use of. Store in a refrigerator, do not freeze, do not shake. Oh, do not shake. Oh, I've been doing that wrong. Look, there's a QR code. Not sure what any of the other stuff is. Oh, hang on, there's the expiry date. Sometime in November 2021. So, in general terms, it's not exactly easy to get into. Can I just, especially if like me you don't have particularly sharp nails, and I didn't bring anything up here, I don't have anything close to hand to allow me to cut into it, so I'm just going to have to tear through the box like that. And hey ho, we have the leaflet. Is anybody really going to be interested in this? I'll just give you the instructions. It seems to be stuck together with something. At least it's not sticky tape. I mean, can you imagine how bad that would be? And dear God. Yes, I'd forgotten about just how big the instruction leaflet is. Just to give you some rough idea, I would say that that is roughly oh God, there's more of it, and some of it's blank as well, so you're probably going to see the brilliant bright light of the ring light get reflected a bit, but you can see it's pretty big. And I know for a fact that, from what I can remember of this, the side effects section, yeah, here we go. The side effects section comes from here to here, so that's quite a substantial amount. But at least to make use of pretty much all the paper, not all of it. I mean, there's an entire two sections that are completely blank, but then there's the actual injection rules and whatnot. You can put it on the belly, you can put it on the thigh, it gives you instructions on how to deal with both. And of course I'm learning it for space here. I don't really want to go free cam with this, but then again I don't want to go into too much detail on this. I don't want to spend too much time on this because it's not that interesting. Look, it even shows you how to dispose of it safely, although for some reason their box is red instead of yellow. And here we have the two pens. Now, the pens themselves, you can see that the liquid is in there. There's a little bit of a bubble or two in there. I'm not sure. Can you see that? Yes. Yeah, I can see that on the viewfinder. Tells you what it is, the amount and so on and so forth, the expiry date and so on and so forth. There's the button, there's the safety pin. Now, the nurses who gave me this, who prescribed it, basically told me to make sure that you check each pen before you use it to make sure that it's the right stuff, it's the right prescribed strength and so on and so forth, and to make sure everything looks okay inside there. Now they are both showing bubbles. I'm supposed to take one of these every 2 weeks, every fortnight, on a Wednesday, and to take it I have to pull this yellow thing out like so, and that is basically the safety catch. That's the bit that, well, that's the bit that surrounds the needle itself. You may or may not be able to see that. And yeah, I've got to go and inject this into either my thigh or my stomach, either thigh or either side of the stomach. And just in case you're wondering, no, this thing will not fit in anymore. That is well and truly, well, it will at this point. It won't once you've actually hit the injection into your leg. You press that button and you've got to hold it for at least 10 seconds. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and jump cut to a close-up of me going free cam in this case, I think, to actually show my bare leg, my bare hairy leg, getting injected with a self-administered needle pen type thing. So I'll see you in the next segment. Okay, and welcome back to the jump cut. So this is going to be the first time I've done anything where I've been semi-naked in front of the camera. I think last time was when I was doing something to do with the shower. But here we are, here's the pen, this time using my camcorder. What you're supposed to do is clean the area you're about to inject with a little alcoholic rub wipe thing. I'm fresh out the shower, so that's not that important in this regard. You're supposed to, if needed, pull the skin further across. If you're using the stomach, you are supposed to actually push it together like that. It's different rules for different parts of the anatomy, but I should be okay. And one thing that you're supposed to do is press this down onto the body like so, and then press the button and hold down for at least 10 seconds. That little yellow thing there, that will actually depress in its own right, and then you press the button and then the needle goes in. So here we go, 1, 2, 3. And that is it, that's 10 seconds done. So you might be able to see the little pinprick where the needle has gone in, and you can certainly see the little circle indentation. And then there's the actual pen itself. The button is now useless, it will not depress anymore. And that little yellow bit there, that's a safety feature, it does not move anymore. You can actually see the needle in some cases, perhaps not so well here, but there you go. Yeah, short little thing. It's not particularly painful. I've had more painful injections from other things such as flu shots or B12 boosters, or if I've had to give blood samples, those have always been more painful. They always say little scratch, sharp scratch, that sort of thing, and then yeah, that's painful. This on the other hand isn't, although that may very well depend on different people's pain thresholds. But hey ho, you can see the blood is starting to come out a little bit. All I need to do now is put on a little bit of a band-aid, and that is it. So that is what I've been getting up to for the last few months with these injections and whatnot, and I'm probably going to continue with those for a while, but I'm still feeling tired and exhausted all the time, and that's something that I was getting on top of as in when I started trying to do videos again, and then since then I've really sort of losing my energy. I've had just complete and utter cases of exhaustion, and sometimes when I've had these I do actually start feeling better, so it could, in theory, potentially be the fact that I just need these to top me up, to suppress the immune system a bit more, so that my body has a chance to fight off whatever's going on. When I've last felt like this, taking one of these did make me feel better for at least a little bit, but then the sensations came down. They came right down again. So I'm waiting on more blood tests to see just what the results of those tell me, as well as, somewhat less charmingly, a stool sample, because apparently there's a lot more your stool can tell you about your state of health than a blood test can, which is interesting. Bit disgusting maybe, but still interesting. Well, I'll leave it at that. Take care in these interesting times, and I hope I'll see you again in the next one.